lesson 11-7, and I decided to include 11-8 with this because 11-7 is just three-dimensional figures, identifying them, and then 11-8 is actually drawing them. So when we're looking at a three-dimensional figure, we need to learn some of the terminology. So if you see the picture here, you have a three-dimensional figure. Two types of three-dimensional figures that you are going to hear a lot is going to be a prism and a pyramid. This particular shape is called a prism, and we're going to talk about why in just a few moments. But we need to look at some vocabulary for describing three-dimensional figures. So if you see the ends of this shape, which is the flat surface, this is called a face. The sides of a shape, so the ends here are more the faces, whereas the sides of the shape, which are kind of here and on the other side, are called lateral faces. So you have faces, but you also have lateral faces. We also have edges, which are where faces intersect each other, and then vertices is just the point where the edges intersect. So edges intersect at vertices and faces intersect at edges. So by definition, a prism, which is one type of three-dimensional figure we're going to talk about, it has at least three lateral faces that there should be R, sorry about the error there, that are parallelograms. And we know a parallelogram is a figure that has two sets of parallel sides. The top and bottom faces, which are called the bases, are congruent, which means they're equal, parallel, which means they never touch, polygons, and then the shape of the base tells the name of the prism. So if you look at the pictures we have here, we have a rectangular prism. We know it's a prism because it has three lateral faces that are parallelograms, and the top and bottom are congruent and parallel. And the reason it got the name rectangular is because the base is a rectangle. We have a triangular prism, and this one can be a little bit difficult because some people will see the bottom of this and think that that's the base, but the base of this shape is actually the triangles. So that's why it's a triangular prism. And then you have a square prism or a cube. A pyramid has at least three lateral faces that are triangles. It has only one base. That's the difference in a pyramid and a prism. A pyramid only has one base, which is a polygon. So it could be a square, triangle, rectangle. And then the shape of the base tells the name of the pyramid. So for example, this example, we have a triangular pyramid because the base is a triangle. We have a square pyramid because the base is a square. There's a few other three-dimensional objects that we will see. We will see the cone, which I'm sure you guys have all seen, an ice cream cone. It has one base, and it's a circle, and then it only has one vertex, where all the kind of edges meet, that round edge meets at the vertex. We also have a cylinder. It has two bases. The bases are congruent, and there are no vertices and no edges. So because this is a circle, we would not include this rectangle that goes around here to be meaning at edges, and there are no vertices, which is just one point. And then a sphere, all of the points on a sphere are the same distance from the center. There are no faces, bases, edges, or vertices. When we are drawing three-dimensional figures, you want to look at the figure in three different views. So you might be asked to draw a top, a side, and a front view of each figure. So to do that, you want to imagine you're standing on top of the figure and you're looking straight down. So if that's the case, then my top view would be a rectangle. And then you want to imagine that you're looking at the shape to the side. So my side view would be a square, and then your front view, so what you see looking straight on, and that there would be a rectangle. And so that's how you draw the shapes as to what view you have of the three-dimensional figure. Now, when drawing a three-dimensional figure from the type of views, you first want to start out with using the top view to draw the base of the figure. So in this example here at the bottom, if I use my top view, I just kind of draw that as my base. You want to add edges to make the base a solid figure. So to do that, we would kind of just add a few things down here on the side. And this would kind of be angled. Sorry, I'm not the best artist, but there we go. And then you want to use the side and the front views to complete the shape. So your front view is actually already there, and so is your side view. So sometimes it's easier to kind of draw these in an angle. And so this one, if I try to redraw it here, here is your top view, and then if I draw it adding my edges, that one looks a little bit better.